Hello YouTube world, it is Liam, the Deaf Doom Metalhead, and today I'm doing a special video for a very specific record label. Now the label in question, as you've already gathered, is Bitter Lost Records, which is based out in Australia. It was established in 2020 by a chap called Rob, and I was lucky enough to receive a message from Rob probably about a couple of weeks ago, saying that he watched my YouTube channel and he wanted to send me some music as a thank you for talking shite, I guess. And blown away by what he sent me, I really am, and I really wanted to do this video, not because I feel like I have to, but because I feel like all these bands are fucking awesome. And like I said all the time, the whole point in this YouTube channel is people to discover new bands, and I feel if I show you these, you will feel like I do, and you'll go out and hunt these down. Now, I was aware of the label. Obviously, I'm a fan of Bitter Lost Records. I was introduced to them round about early last year by a chap called Chris, who sent me this album. Now, this was a 2021 release by Bitter Lost Records. This is the band Crypt Crawler. These guys are based in Perth, where Chris lived, and I was talking to him saying, it'd be awesome to get this because it sounds killer. Because I only heard the single, I think, at the time, and he sent it to me, which blew my mind. And as you can see, the cover screams awesome. This is a death metal band that very much leans on the style of the band Death, and musically this is like top tier, crystal clear production, riffs executed perfectly. It's fucking awesome, and made me aware of this label very quickly. There is a logo there, and you probably saw it in the thumbnail if I include it. And yeah, an absolute killer band. Really, really heavy album. I think I can't remember where I placed it last year in my top 20 or 30, I can't remember what I did, but full gatefold. And for a new label, Rob was doing the works. You get CDs, tapes, but the vinyl really impressed me. I mean, this looks incredible, matches the cover perfectly, and I've shown this before, but if you haven't seen it, absolutely mint. Really cool album. So that was when I was introduced to the label, and I kept my eye on them. But it's one of those labels, because Australia is such almost like a desert island almost when it comes to postage costs, kind of get put off a little bit. But I have a surprise at the end of the video which will help a few people watching this video. But I will show you the music he sent me because it's all incredible. So the first band is a Perth band again, formed in 2019. This is their debut EP from 2021, and the band is called Ashen, and this is Godless Oath. Now, that cover again, the label has put out another. I mean, this is only an EP, bear in mind, and normally EP covers a bit, yeah, that's top drawer, full works. Now, this was really cool because it's death metal, but it's got that kind of crystal clear production. It's not like an underground murky kind of death metal style, which you kind of think it might be, being an EP from a band, because a lot of these, I'll show you, they're very mixed in styles of death metal and thrash and that kind of thing. But these guys are a 4-piece, and what I like about this album, or EP should I say, it has these big moments in the songs where they hit the big riffs. It's like big open air riffs with hi-hats smashing, that kind of thing. The vocals are really guttural and really crystal clear. You can understand what he's saying, but in a kind of growled style. And yeah, for an EP, this is really cool, and the full length's going to be awesome. I already know that. Very technical solos. It's got the works on it. I mean, it's only 5 tracks, and I forget how long it is. It's not very long. It ends very quickly because I'm enjoying it that much. But I assure you that is solid, and the cover, lured me in straight away. They had no idea what it was, and yeah, a really cool EP. So that's the first one. The second one is now more an old school style death metal, and this sounded how I expected it to sound. And the band is called Sufferance. Look at that cover there. And this is a demo called For the Madness Beyond. This is a Victoria band, Australia again. This is their debut demo from 2021. I'm using notes if you wonder why I keep looking. Now, very old school looking. This is also quite short. I think it's only like 12 minutes long. But this is brutal. Big riffs again. CD there with the artwork, and you got a picture of the band there in the tray. Now these guys are very much an old school 90s sounding death metal band. You know, the cover kind of gives you what they're going to be all about, and these guys are fucking heavy as fuck. They really, really are. Big riffs, really 90s old school style death metal solos with loads of delay and reverb on it, and they've got kind of like James Murphy style, like arpeggios and stuff like that going on, and runs. So it's awesome. You know, my kind of death metal straight away. You know, I just had to look at the cover and know I was going to enjoy that. So you haven't checked that one out. I mean, check all these out anyway, but that was solid for a demo. And then the next one was a band that have, I think, 3 albums that came out in 2021, all full lengths, which is insane. This is a band that are based out of Melbourne. Don't know when they're formed, I couldn't find that information out. But the band in question is called Parasitic Equilibrium. There you go. Now the first one is Despise Human, this one here. Now this is a band that kind of have a kind of more of a grindcore kind of death metal sound to them, to my ears anyway. The songs go from like kind of your standard style like death metal, but then the blasts and the triggers and some of the riffing and the vocal styles all then leans to more the kind of grindcore scene. So it kind of switches between the two. On this one, and then the other one, next one I'll show you is totally different almost. But really, really cool. Full length album. My CD player said it had like 18 tracks on it, but it doesn't say that on there, so I'm not sure what happened when I listened to this today. I don't recall that happening last time. But really, really cool. Really, really heavy again. Loads of riffs. And then the next one is a hand-numbered one. This was only out of 200. I've got 111, which you can see there. This album is called Dark Meditation. So it's a slightly different cover style. So let's say that one. This one is more of your straight up death metal with the kind of grindcore tendencies again, but this one is more riffy, shall we say. This one stood out in my head a little bit more when I listened to it. I've listened to these about a dozen times now. I mean, in my car I've played all these because they're so short, some of these, you can get through them pretty quick. But 3 full lengths in a year, I mean that's insane. I mean you get a lot of music on these, should I say. And yeah, fucking solid. I've got no idea who they are, what they're about, and nothing like that. I couldn't find any information out. But yeah, I can assure you they're very, very good though. And the next one is again, totally different style of death metal. This is a HM2 driven style entombed worship, shall we say, death metal band. This band is called The Plague. And this is their debut full length from 2021. The band are based out of Sydney and formed in 2016. And this is called Within Death. There, the lads there hanging out, and as you can see from some of the band t-shirts, it kind of gives it away. But again, wicked cover art. I know there's a vinyl variant of this as well that Bitter Loss have done. But this is my pick of the bunch out of all the ones I'm going to show you today. This, well, maybe the Crypt Crawler might edge it, but this for me was really, really enjoyable. Very much Left Hand Path style entombed worship, shall we say. Not copying it, but it is similar. Vocal approach, obviously HM2 guitar tone gets compared to everything that is of the Swedish death metal sound, but these lads do it really, really well. Really good production. It's got the right tone to it, it's got the murky quality to it. The vocals are very much Petrov style with the reverb to give it that kind of growly sounds, that kind of echo in like a cavern. But fucking heavy riffs. I mean, there's some big riffs on this album. Big riffs. Very much my favourite track I think was Within Depth. Yeah, Within Depth. The second from last track. That was my favourite off this one. Big riffs on that song. But the whole album's killer. You know, start to finish, you know. I've probably played this one the most out of all of them. Great for when I'm driving to the gym. I've used that a lot to kind of motivate me to get off my fat ass. So yeah, if you haven't checked this band out, obviously I can say I will check them all out, but this one, if you're into your HM2 driven style guitar work, you're going to like it without even thinking about it. Just buy it. You know, it's a no-brainer. Now the next one, again, cover-wise will give you a clue, but this isn't an Australian band, so obviously Rob is promoting the underground of Australia, because Australia has some wicked bands like Aeon's Abyss, and all these are pretty much Australian bands. Pestilence is another one he's done. I have the personal records version of that EP they did, but he does the vinyl version. This band is a Canadian band. They're based out of Ontario, formed in 2010, and this is their debut full length for 2021. And this is Dead Soul Alliance with Behind the Scenes. Now again, very much an old school style approach to the look, and musically is exactly that as well. It's very much a old school sounding death metal band. This is a 2-piece, and again, fucking bags and bags of riffs, heavy hitters, solid solos, you know, blasty. It's got everything you want, you know, absolutely killer. I really enjoyed this one as well. It's just, yeah, when you get a cover and you know it's going to do what you want musically, you never get you know, the band name, you kind of think, not too sure, but yeah, fucking spot on. It was old school sounding death metal, and I was well happy with that. Very, very heavy. Obviously I'll leave links below to all these bands, but yeah, but the icing on the cake was one I actually really, really wanted and didn't know that Bitter Loss were doing it. So this is a classic one. So this is a reissue, came out back in 1993. The band formed in 1990 out of Sweden, and they were a death grind band by the name of Necrony, and this is their album Pathological Performances. Now there's a ton of labels that have reissued this, but this is the official remaster for New Zealand and Australia, done through Bitter Loss. I know Gurgling Gore have done it, Self-Made God Records have done it, as a Brazilian label I think have done it, but this is the tits. Now if you haven't heard this is very much like Carcass, but also like Exhumed, all those kind of bands. But this is so ahead of its time. For the year it came out in 93, I mean obviously it's a remaster so it sounds a bit better, but this is solid from start to finish. The riffs, the solos, the blasts, vocals, everything about this is spot on. An old school classic, and you can see why it's been reissued by so many different labels. And I was really, really happy when I saw this come out of the package, because I've been after this for ages. And when I saw Self-Made God was going to put it out, but I didn't want it on tape, I wanted it on CD. And yeah, absolutely killer band, 2-piece. It's amazing, absolutely amazing. And yeah, so if you live over in Australia or New Zealand, you can grab your copy. But yeah, if you haven't checked it out, look at the link below. It's amazing. Now, obviously, being a European, and I said before at the start of the video, ordering from Australia is like ordering from a desert island. It pretty much is. It's ridiculous. But luckily for us lot, there is a European distro, which I'll leave a link above my head and down below in the description, called Hammer of Exile. And basically that website covers a couple of labels from Australia and their distro, so you can grab a copy of pretty much all of these, but also mainly the icing on the cake. You know, if you want that really sexy purple vinyl, they have it in stock there, so you can get yourself a copy of that, because that is sold out at Bitter Loss Records. So if you want that, and I assure you do, go and check out the link below and go and buy it. So massive shout out to Rob for that package. That was insane. Really, really grateful. You know, all of them are killer, and they have been regularly spun. Even today, when I kind of made sure I was talking some sense in this video, I just went through all of them, and none of them bore me. Not one of them bore me. Like, you know, you get a package sometimes, or you buy a load of CDs, some blind buys, and you think, yeah, it's all right. All of them do the job. So until then, please take care. Comment below what you think if you've checked the bands out. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing and checking out the content. I'm going to punt at you right now. Please like the video, and I'll speak to you guys soon. Cheers.